Well, the highlights of my career were many because we dealt with quick reaction programs, and they came very fast and furious and many. But three programs were of particular impact to me. The first was the Army Small Computer Program, where we acquired all of the Army's desktop information technology. And back in the mid-90s, that technology was changing rapidly. I guess it was Moore's Law that said every 18 months the computer desktop doubled in power, and people were refreshing their technology, and we had to have contracts in place that customers could order the latest technology from. And that was quite a challenge. The next project that was very impacting to me was the SOUTHCOM headquarters relocation. I was approached by the J6 of SOUTHCOM in 1995. I happened to have worked with him before. I knew him very well, and he said, "Tom, we have a big problem. President Carter signed a Panama Treaty in '77 that we have to be out of Panama, and we haven't done anything to prepare for that. And we have to have our command center relocated from Panama to Miami in less than 2 years." Fortunately, I had a project office, the Command Center Upgrade Special Projects Group. They were able to take it on, get a contract in place very quickly, and relocate 68 systems for the combatant commander of SOUTHCOM and keep him operational during that move. And then the last program of great significance was the Pentagon Renovation, where we had to help renovate the Pentagon, 25,000 people working, and had to be able to continue to work while the renovation took place. It was quite a challenge. Well, my path was very varied in tactical and strategic programs. Fortunately, there was a breadth of activities at Fort Monmouth at the time, and I was able to start my career as a junior engineer in the Electronic Warfare Laboratory at Camp Evans, about 100 feet from the Marconi wireless tower that was active in the early 1920s. But I was assigned a desk and a workbench, and we worked with soldiers from the Army Security Agency as they were getting ready to deploy to Vietnam, and they would come to our laboratory, be trained on the equipment, go over to Vietnam, and then about 9 months later come back and report on how well the equipment worked, what didn't work. So we were dealing directly with the user, and it was very interesting. I did that for 4 years and then moved to the COM ADP lab, part of ECOM at the time as well, working on the ANTTC-38 tactical voice switch system as the chief test engineer. And then I migrated to what was then called Communication Systems Agency Program Manager DCS Army, Defense Communication Systems Army. And that was the system, the organization with name changes that I ended up being the director of many years later. Well, my fondest memories were with my employees. I had the most amazing people supporting me. They came to work enthused, excited, and very capable. Now, I have to say that working on quick reaction programs helps reinforce that. We didn't have 10-year development cycles and 15-year fielding programs. We had activity turning over every few months. And that in itself helps keep people energized and motivated. But I will single out one person who I'm particularly fond of, and that's Lieutenant General Emmett Page. He was my mentor. He was the hardest working individual, the smartest individual that I have ever had the pleasure of working with. And I worked with him when he was a BG and when he was a Lieutenant General, and then again when he returned as the Honorable Emmett Page as the Assistant Secretary of Defense for C5I. And I had the pleasure for the last 7 or 8 years sitting in the office he had, at the desk that he had, and it was really an honor. We supported the combatant commanders of assigned to the Army, the European Command, Southern Command, U.S. Forces Korea. And in 1990, when Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, DISA was immediately deployed to develop an architecture to support Desert Storm, the deployment of troops that were going to go over. Well, I looked at that with interest as a citizen because I said, that's Central Command's theater, and that's Air Force responsibility. Well, DISA finished their architecture, sent it to the Air Force, and said, assign a PM. The Air Force had just abolished the Air Force Communications Command. They did not have the capability, so it was assigned to the Army. It came to ISMA, and I had to, again, reach in and find a PM and send him within 2 weeks over to Saudi Arabia. So that was the biggest challenge, was our programs move faster than the Army personnel system could respond. I used to meet with all of our new employees, military and civilian. And after a casual chat about their background and their goals and interests, I would tell them to go forth and do good things for our organization and not to be afraid of taking risks, because you're going to make mistakes if you're doing things. That just happens. And if you make a mistake, I'm sure you're going to be able to correct it. And if not, someone in your chain will be able to fix that. But every mistake is a learning experience. So take advantage of that and go forth and do good things.